Alrighty, you guys, we are here with what I would like to call a superstar. I've been saying this since I watched episode 1 of The Trust on Netflix. I feel like in every cast, there's always like a 1 or 2 or 3 that are just like stars to me to go on to become the face of the brand, in my opinion. I think that she's very intelligent, she's beautiful, and y'all gonna wish y'all was on her side. We have Tolu from Netflix's The Trust. Hi,
Tolu! We are so happy to have you here.
I am so excited to be here today. I was like,
Tolu,
you go, Maddison.
Yeah, I was going to say, how are you feeling? The show is out. Obviously, a lot has happened, but just, we are honored that you wanted to come to Toasted Tea Pod to share your story, share your narrative, and that you feel comfortable because we think you are absolutely fabulous. And it's always crazy to me that people get mad at people for playing the game.
Right?
Yeah. Been there.
Right? I was like, do y'all want boring TV? Like, it's literally a game. These are the rules. You can choose whether or not you want to play to win, but some of us are players, are winners. Like, I'm not just going to sit here and hope and pray that things go my way. If I could do something about it, I'm going to do something.
Exactly.
So I just don't get it. And mind you, if you didn't have the players, y'all would literally be sitting around just like, it would be the most boring TV.
I agree. And like Tolu, let me ask you if you relate to this. I think sometimes the audience forgets that when you go on a reality show, period, a competition, you're like kind of putting your life on pause, right?
Yeah.
You got to like tell your job, oh girl, I got to go away. You're flying all the way out there. Why would you go through all of that? The auditions, the sweats, the flight, to not go on there and play. The stress.
Exactly.
To go in there and not play.
Exactly. Like, people don't understand that. Like you said, I literally had to, I had to put my job on hold. My marketing manager 9 to 5, I had to tell them, hey, look, I want to go chase an opportunity that I'm praying will be lucrative for me. And they weren't the most happy, but, I took that chance, and that's the whole thing. Like, when you go out and you're putting your life on pause and you're taking that chance, you would be a fool to not sit there and make the most of every single opportunity that you're given and do it in a way where you ensure that you have the greatest possibility for success. Like, why are you on this earth if you're just going to sit down and just like hope and pray that things go your way? Baby, if you don't get up and take some action and move towards it, like, come on.
Mm-hmm. And 90% of the people behind the screen, by the way, would do the exact same thing. But they just, it's easier to troll than to put yourself in
I do the things that, I want to say that watching the show, I did the things and said the things that a lot of people were scared. Like, they agree with, but they're scared to do it themselves. And they see someone just being very audacious about it. And they're like, I don't have that audacity. She must be bad. You're a bad person. I'm just like, I'm sorry that I'm smart and
sorry,
she's got a brain.
Like, I'm sorry I got a brain. I apologize. Actually, no, I don't apologize for it because look at where my brain got me.
Exactly.
Right?
That's a T.
Tolu, how did you get started with the show? Did you see like a listing somewhere, like a casting notice? Did someone reach out to you? How did this journey sort of begin for you?
So I'm really happy you asked that because I feel like my story is a lot different from like most of the cast. Most of the cast, from what I've heard, like they were reached out to like directly. Me, I literally saw a casting ad. It was like, and here is the ad. It has changed my life. I will never forget it. It said, new reality show on major streaming platform, opportunity to win life-changing amount of money. That was the call to action. Opportunity to win life-changing amount of money. So that was the call. And maybe I answered. I said, I like life-changing amounts of money. I'm gonna fucking put my hat in the race and see how much I can change my life. Like, and so I think people forget that. Like you said, at the end of it all, it's a game, and there are winners, there are losers, there are people that strive to win as much as possible, and don't be mad at those individuals for doing what they need to do to win. Like, would you be mad at someone who won the Olympics? And would you be mad at the person who won the first place prize? And be like, oh, how dare you? You should have given this person the opportunity to also show their stuff. No. Like, let's use our sense.
Mm-hmm. Were you 100% made aware of the premise of the show going in, or were you kind of not sure what you were getting into?
I did not know nothing. Okay. Actually, I didn't know anything whatsoever. I didn't even know the platform that it was on. I didn't know. I thought it was going to be on like Peacock or Tubi or something. I thought it was just going to be real regular. It wasn't until we got on the cliff, like, mind you, before we even walk onto the cliff, they have us blindfolded. So, like, whole backstory. When I finally, like, went through all my interviews and they were like, congratulations, we want you on the show. I was like, oh my God, I still didn't know what the platform was. And then they just sent me like, okay, here's your travel itinerary. Here are the clothes that we need you to bring. Cool. I was like, all right. So I didn't even know I was going to go to Dominican Republic until like a week before we're about to leave. I was like, oh, okay. Let me pack everything in my closet. And then when we get there, there's literally just like a local with my name on a little sign. It just had my name when I got off the plane. I was like, okay. So I'm like, hi, I'm Tolu Ekundare. And then he puts me in a van. Mind you, I land like dead at night. It's like after midnight that time. So he puts me in a van. It's like got these blacked out lights. I said, oh my God, is this human trafficking? Yeah, dumbass just accidentally get caught in human trafficking, trying to be on a TV show and win money. Like, and then mind you, the airport where I landed was like 2 hours away from the resort. So I'm in a van at 1:00 in the morning. Oh no. But this man just had a sign. I still don't know the streaming platform. I'm just like, God, please let this be real. Please let this be real. I packed all my clothes. I'm in this van. I don't want to be trafficked, Lord. And we finally get to the resort. I was like,
oh, it's nice here.
Cute. Okay, palm trees. Okay. They trafficking me, baby. They really put some funds into this. Really? And then there's like, then a guy with like a little, what's it called? He's got like
an earpiece
and a walk. Yeah, an earpiece and walk. He's like, yeah, I'm headed towards her right now. Tolu Ekundare, and I'm like, yeah, that's me. He's like, yeah, follow me. I'll take you to your room. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Oh my God. But like, didn't know anything. And then they kept us in the dark the entire time we were in the resort. And when we finally moved to the house, literally before we like go down to film the first scene, they had us in blindfolds. We were blindfolded, so we couldn't even see the place. And there was just like a person next to us holding an umbrella so the sun doesn't like beat down on my bald little head. And then finally they line us up in our blindfolds in the order we're gonna walk down. And then right before the director calls like action, when he's like, action cast, right before he says that, then they remove our blindfolds, but everybody walks in one by one. So even when they remove your blindfold, you still can't see anything until you walk and you turn the corner, and then you're able to see everything. So I didn't know, I didn't know shit about shit. Oh, sorry. No. Crazy. No, you're fine. You're fine.
That is insane. So you found out about the rules, right? We're watching you find out about everything in real time.
Live and in action.
So how did you decide how you were going to play the game?
Yeah.
Because you had 1 second to figure it out, basically.
You know what? In that moment, when she was like, okay, congratulations, you're all winners, I was like, winner of what? Like, I ain't even playing nothing yet. How am I a winner? She's like, you're all winners, blah, blah, blah. You're going to split it. As soon as she said, there's 11 of you, or I counted, there was 11 of us. And she said, you're going to split $250,000. I did the math in my head. I said, 10 would be $25K. And even then, that's too little. And
okay.
Now you're 11.
That's not life-changing. That's not life-changing.
I was like, baby, I can't even buy a little Toyota Corolla with that used. Yeah. Like, what's going on? So I did the little mental math. I said, that's not the life-changing amount of money that I came down here for, risk human trafficking. Let me see how this plays out. I was like, I'm playing. I already knew. I was like, oh, there's no way all 11 of us are gonna make it. So I'm playing, but let me get in there, scope the scenery out a little bit, and then figure out what I'm gonna do. And then when I got in there, I scoped the scene. I was like, okay, just be yourself. Be like have, you know, your nice shining personality. People like, and then just see where it goes from there. And from there, I was able to just gain relationships with everybody in the house just because the stuff.
Right. I was going to say, we naturally saw you gravitate towards Winnie. Was there anyone else who you did initially gravitate towards that we didn't see as much on the show?
Because sometimes they cut stuff out and it's like, it doesn't tell like a complete story all the way because there's only so much time, you know?
I feel like they cut so much out. Well, we do only have 8 episodes. So and we filmed for 3 weeks, 24 hours.
Oh,
well, not 24 hours.
No, 3 weeks?
No. Yes, we filmed for 3 weeks.
The circle's only 2 weeks and we get 12.
Yeah, that's crazy.
3 weeks, 8 episodes, and then we were filming for like 18-hour days.
I was gonna say, it feels like you guys were on. Yeah.
Only so much that they can show, I guess. So they just cut out all the boring, friendly, nice person stuff, and they're like, "Come on, give us action, give us drama, give the people what they want." So on the screen, I looked very spicy, but they didn't show like the parts where. Yes, I gravitated towards Winnie. That was my girl. We was locked in, like, day one, obviously. But at the same time, one of the people that I built one of the closest relationships with in the house was Gasper. They didn't show any of my relationship with Gasper at all. People wouldn't believe that. And that's also part of why he, like, helped save me with Lindsay because of our relationship. Like, I talked to Winnie. Winnie was the first person that I spoke to in the house. And then the second person was Gasper. And he was just like, he's just so funny. He was telling stories about crackheads in Brooklyn. And I was like, bro, I grew up in Brooklyn. I resonate with that. I was like, this dude is hilarious. Where'd y'all find him? We were just like a kiki on the couches eating. He likes to eat snacks. I love to eat snacks. He would just be eating. I would be eating. We would be making jokes. Like, they didn't show none of that.
I was going to say, I would have loved to see that. Because you're right. We really didn't see that relationship build in that way at all.
At all.
Dang it.
Oh, well, we need more Tolu and Gasper.
Yes.
Right.
Give me a spinoff right now. I'm calling it.
All right, Tolu, the people want to know because they got questions.
Ooh, baby. Here we
go. We know Juelz, lovely individual, is voted out of the trust. Why, Tolu? Why? Why?
Oh, you are asking the question that everybody, like, I feel
it's the burning question.
Like 35% of my comments consist of Juelz, justice for Juelz. And okay, let's set the record straight. First and foremost, why did we vote off Juelz? Now, the show makes it seem like it was because he went into the vault and he took away, I was one of the 2 people who he took away their voting power. And that's why I turned all the women against Juelz. No! Let's dead that narrative. Y'all are so loud and wrong. Let's set the record straight. Juelz walked in. First and foremost, here's what I don't think is clicking. It's not clicking. I hope it clicks after this. Juelz walked in, and he was the only person lying about who he was and what he does. The only person lying about that. So when we went in and we were able to have one-on-one, mind you, he even had an opportunity. He could have, like, if he was so, you know what, I want to build trust, blah, 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 blah. You could have even told your secret at the bonfire when they revealed it. His secret was apparently that I frequently lie about my occupation, but we didn't know that. Oh. So the only person who stood up and revealed their secret was Lindsay. So that made us gain respect for her because we were like, oh, okay, you owned your shit. That's when we started to gain respect for Lindsay. So anyway, after the bonfire, we all go out, we talk, blah, 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 have one-on-one conversations. Then after our one-on-one conversations, remember, me, Julie, and Winnie are all in one room. We share a room together. That's half the women already. So we shared a room and we all think very like, we walked in like, nah, we want to be players. Like, we're not going to sit around and wait to get played because if you're not a player, you are getting played. We're playing this shit. So the 3 of us locked in immediately. Then, then Mama J, we realized she was a thug. We locked in with her. And then Lindsay actually came. No, we talking about Mama J. That's my girl. And then Lindsay came and she was like, I could tell that y'all are players. I want to align with you guys. And we're like, okay. So all the women, we got together. We were just talking like, okay, how do we feel about everybody? And then every single woman said, I have a weird feeling about Juelz. There's just something about him. we all said, all of us, all 5 said, there's just something about him. Like he's lying. We feel like
that
he's
liar
lying about
spirit.
something. And literally, he had the most inconsistent backstory. To some of us, he was a stripper. To some of us, he was a personal trainer. To some of us, he was a barber. To some of us, he was just a hustler. It was like, do you yourself know what you are? So it was just too much inconsistencies. So in that moment, we were like, okay, it's very obvious this man is lying about something. So you come in here, a game of trust, and you're lying about yourself. Is that supposed to inspire trust? Because it certainly didn't amongst us women. We was like, red flags, red flags, red flags. So immediately we did not trust him because he did not present himself to be a trustworthy individual. You're lying just off rip for no reason.
And
so
badly.
Then, and badly.
And badly.
Bruh,
Yeah.
so bad. I'm like, you could have at least it was a really long flight from the US to DR. You could have took a napkin, wrote down your backstory, memorized it real good. Like you didn't do nothing. There was no effort. Just
I have my backstory.
Child. So then after he goes into the vault, mind you, all of us already do not trust him. He goes into the vault, he comes out, he's like, oh, made a great sacrifice. Instead of taking $2,500 from the trust, I decided that we had to take away 2 people's voting powers, Tolu and Bryce. Y'all were the first 2 on the list, so we did you. So, okay, I was like, Remember everybody. Y'all get to see what's inside of the vault. Y'all get to see the strategizing, you get to see it. We are just going based off, we ain't seen nothing. We're just going based off what everybody is telling us. And we already do not trust him. So I'm like, you're going to come out and say, I made this grand sacrifice. I added $2,500 to the trust, but I had to take away 2 people's voting powers randomly. And Tolu and Bryce, y'all were the 2 that I selected. Of course, I'm be like, that seems kind of convenient. It's a little convenient. And then, so even in that moment, and mind you, I just want to talk about this. I need everybody to stop saying he's like a martyr. Like, oh my gosh, he did this like
clear it up.
Amazing. No, because let's be for real. Everybody wants to talk like, oh my God, he did this amazing thing. He added money to y'all's trust instead of who would eliminate someone on the first vault over $2,500? Come on now. That is dumb gameplay. That is dumb gameplay. So you added $2,500, but you had to take away 2 people's voting power. That's the smarter move. And I feel like anybody who went into the vault would have made that. That does not make him a martyr. And then number 2, you had to take away 2 random people's voting powers. Don't you think everybody would trust you more if you had maybe taken away your own? You could have said, you know what? I really do not want to vote, and I want to prove to you guys that I have no intentions of voting. They told us to take away 2 people's voting powers. I didn't even want to think about taking any of y'all's. I want to show you that I'm not going to vote. I took away my own because I don't need it.
He would have made y'all second think had he did. That would have been some good gameplay. That would have been me.
Period. I would have been like, wait a minute.
That was good.
So everyone would have been on his side after that.
Yeah,
everyone would have been riding so hard for him. You're exactly right.
So he made it easy for y'all.
Immediately. So immediately after that, we was like, mind you, we was already gonna vote him off. But after that really solidified it. Like I told you, we already said, we don't trust him. He's got to go because we're not going to sit around and be played. We're going to be players. So he had to go. He had to go. Him taking away my voting power, it did not stop the plan. The plan it continued. As planned.
Just confirmed
I just couldn't participate.
Yeah.
Wow. And Bryce not telling y'all right away that he was a millionaire. That was Bryce, right?
Yes.
On the show, it appeared like he was really fighting with telling y'all that he was a millionaire. Y'all already knew he was a millionaire, right?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to triple check. Y'all knew that, right?
Baby, as soon as we saw the linen, we saw the linen clothes, and then Bryce has a very particular way of eating. Like the rest of us, we eat like Bryce is very posh with his like knife and fork. Cut every piece. So I looked, I said, ooh, you did cotillion. It's giving cotillion. You know? So I said, now I know a bougie bitch when I see one, and you, my friend, are a bougie bitch. I like it though. I'm with it. You're fabulous. I'm gonna keep you around. I'm not gonna share my money with you. Best believe. But I fuck with your vibes, so we're gonna keep you around and enjoy the experience. Which is what he said he wanted.
Yeah.
And
he did
then when he said
he was there for the experience.
And we
just
gave
not the
the
coin.
experience.
How did you determine who to put your trust in? Like, of course you can say anything to anyone, but like, for example, how did you know that Winnie was like your number one, right? How did you know that she was safe enough to put your trust, your information, your strategy, and confide that in her?
I feel like Winnie, like me and Winnie, our connection, like we connected immediately, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we connected by like from coming from a shared cultural background. Like it wasn't even just like Black woman to Black woman, which but it was also like we are Nigerian, you know, like we understand bits and parts of each other that maybe the outside world wouldn't. Like people like to call her like, oh, people have been using these really nasty words like she's aggressive or I'm aggressive, we're mean, we're bullies. But y'all don't understand that in our culture, we don't fluff around. Like part of love is telling you like it is. Like you don't always have to sugarcoat things. You can do it as sweet as you can, but it doesn't have to be coated with sugar. And that's one thing I love about our culture. Like you'll have an auntie that would just say to you, oh, wow, Tolu, I get your fats. I get your very fats. And you know what? I just let you know, like, oh, okay. Maybe girl put on some weight. Like, you know, I'm thickens a little bit. Maybe I need to work on that. But like, that's just our culture. So we connected on that. And then when I saw that Winnie is very much she talks so straightforward. How, like, you will never sit there and question, oh, how does Winnie feel about me? You're going to know because she is going to tell you directly. And an individual like that, you can trust so much because I already know that, like, what you see is what you get. And she showed me that, like, she's got my back. We think on the same kind of, like, we have the same kind of mindset. It was just, it was so easy in that regard because, like I said, she's just straightforward. She's going to tell you like it is. And people like that, like, it's, for me personally, it's so easy to get along with because I'm like, okay, cool, thanks. Now I know.
Are you still friends with Winnie today after the show?
Oh yeah, that's my girl. We did content together today.
Good. I love that.
I love that as well. My thing is this. My comments on Winnie are I was stressed because it felt like the people not aligned with her were intimidated by her bluntness, by the fact that she's just so comfortable telling it like it is. And it was frustrating to watch them try to like paint her as like some crazy evil mastermind.
Nasty narrative.
It seemed like y'all was chilling and playing the game. And it was like, oh my God, the head of the snake. And I was like, they laying on the bed.
And that would be the crazy thing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so one day when you really had to tell them about themselves, because like literally when we would be alone together, people would always assume, oh, they're strategizing, they're plotting, they're doing something evil. And then literally we're just sitting around, we're talking like, oh man, when we get to Houston, we're gonna go hit up that one spot. Oh, I can't wait to get some crawfish. Like we're planning life outside of the house. And everybody thinks that we're just plotting on who next is going to be on our hit list. So one day, Winnie literally walked into the room. She was like, you know what? I'm hearing too much, and I'm going to just set the record straight with everybody. She walked into the room with everybody, and she was like, I just want to set the record straight because I've been hearing too many whispers, and I just want it to stop now. Tolu, when me and her are together, we are not plotting against you people. We are talking. We are connecting because we have a bond that transcends this house. We have a bond that goes outside of this. So we're establishing that bond. We're talking about other things. We're talking about the future. We are not talking about this game every single time. Y'all need to relax. Nobody is coming for you. And like, literally, in that moment, I'm looking at her like, yes, girl. But also I was scared because I was like, ooh, you see, if you were a man, especially a white man, but if you were a man and you said that, everybody would be looking at you like, yes, strong, you strong leader. You're a woman. You're a dark-skinned woman. We play by a different set of rules. So immediately I was nervous because I'm like, I understand everything that she's saying. Right. But is it going to fall on deaf ears? Are they also going to see where she's coming from? Are they also going to view her with the same kind of humanity? And so it was just, child, that whole narrative, and a lot of the stuff that happened, like the planning and plotting, the first time I'm seeing it is on the screen. I didn't get to see it happen. So seeing it go down, it just like, it added additional layers to it. Like, I'll be looking, I'm like, damn, if I was able to see everything as it happened, a lot of decisions in the house that I made would have been different. I'll just keep it at that.
Okay.
Oh, all righty then. Okay. I will say, not the audience does forget that they see everything, all parts, all angles, confessionals, etc. You only know, I say this all the time, you only know what you know when you're in front of the camera. And that's it.
Exactly.
I wanted to ask you, Tolu, we saw Mama J leave. Did y'all know why she left? Did they tell y'all why she left?
No, Brooke just, like, as you saw it on the TV, Brooke just said she went into the vault, she got an offer she couldn't refuse, and she went home. And we were like,
yeah.
She said, bye, y'all. Would you have done that?
If I was in Jay's specific position, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
She made
I thought it was a great
the
decision.
absolute smartest decision. Yeah. And what a lot of people didn't see is that she was already going through so much emotionally, because that was coming off as the tails of us finding out about Lindsay. And then remember, in the house, we were all like, me, Winnie, Jay, Julie, Lindsay, we were all really, really close. Like, it was what I thought was a sisterhood. And so with Jay and Lindsay, they shared a bedroom together. So they were like best friends in the house. And so Jay looked at me and Winnie like, you know, we are her pseudo granddaughters. Like, we love her. Like, Winnie actually is the one who coined her as Mama J and got everybody like calling her
I
Mama
love that, because we didn't even get to see that.
Yeah. It was so cute. She's always like, this is Mama J, you're Mama J. And then everybody just started calling her Mama J. So we are like her pseudo granddaughters. But Lindsay was her best friend and what she thought was her closest ally in the house. And so when we caught wind of Lindsay's backstabbing,
playing both sides.
She was playing both sides.
Yeah, playing both sides, not even playing well. When we found out that she was being a little double agent, and then oh my gosh, this one scene that didn't even make it to because she wasn't playing well. But this one scene that didn't even make it to the cut. Lindsay and Jay, this was right before the poker game. Lindsay and Jay, they were in the room talking about something. They were talking about, like, because we wanted to eliminate Jake next. So they were talking about that. And then Lindsay, like, gets up. Like, after a while, she gets up. And then Mama J sees her go straight into the boys' room right after their conversation. And so I think in that moment, that's when it finally... Because me and Winnie, we were already, like, looking at her sideways, like, I'm pretty sure this bitch is playing us. But we weren't 1,000% sure yet. So then when Jay had that conversation with Lindsay, Lindsay went to the boys' room. Jay comes into our room, and I will never forget this. It's just me and Lindsay in the room. I mean, not ew. It's just me and Winnie in the room. And Jay comes in, and she says, I want to ask you girls a question, and I need you to be 100% honest with me. We're like, yeah, what's up? And she's like, are you guys my real friends? Or have you been acting this entire time? When I tell you that we busted out crying, we're like, Jay, no, we are your girls. We love you. We are going to defend you to the end. Like, none of this is an act for us. Our love for you is so real. And then she just started crying. She just started crying. And then me and Winnie started crying. And it was in that moment we were like, because she's like, I just had a conversation with Lindsay. And I saw her run and go tell the boys, I don't think Lindsay is with us anymore, guys. And we were like, yeah, she's not. She's not with us. She blew out Winnie's candle. And like that solidified everything. So after the poker match, when, you know, they gave Jay the chip, and I mean the card, and they're like, you got the least amount of chips, because everybody in the house, they were gunning for Winnie, they were gunning for Jay, they were gunning for me. The three of us, we had our heads on a little on their hit list. Yeah, for real.
I was scared for you, girl. I was like, no, Tolu need to make it to the end. Period. She the show. Period. Bring it.
Oh my gosh, that kills me, because I was obsessed with Mama J. Courtney knows. I was like, I would have done the same thing, Tolu. I would have aligned with her, because there's no way I could have gone against her. Like, she's just
no way.
She seemed like so much fun.
So no way. She's so real. Like,
no way.
I'll tell you like it is. I love people like that.
Now, what are your feelings on Jake? Obviously, we saw a lot. And also, I want to ask you too, were you upset when he kept calling you his African queen? Because that came up a bunch.
Yes. So my feelings on Jake at the current moment, he is not my cup of tea. He is actually not even a cup of tea. He is a cup of mud, not even the good mud that makes your skin good. The nasty, bad kind that even worms don't want to be in. That's the kind of worms. So, yeah, I do not like him at all. I don't like what he stands for, represents. I don't like him as a person. I don't like him as a human being. Anyway, but my issue with Jake in the house and that whole scene that everybody got to see is, okay, and here, let me just set the record straight. Actually, I'm trying to be real sweet and diplomatic about it, but like, let me just set the record straight. Let's be real.
Set it straight, Tolu.
This is a safe space. This is a safe space here.
Yeah.
Nobody can sit there and tell me my story better than me. All right. So let's set the record straight. And there is a lot of things that did not get that the audience did not get to see. For example, when I first walked into the house, you know, I had my my Ankara top and skirt, the like green and y'all know the fit. I walked into the house, everybody complimented me. I was like, oh, thanks, guys. And then Jay, my very first interaction with Jay, he goes, wow, you look like a Wakanda warrior princess. And I was like,
Tolu.
No.
Don't tell me that man said that to you.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
That came out of his mouth.
Yeah, that did. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck did you just say? Like, oh, you look great. You look like a Wakanda. Like, you know, Wakanda.
Double down. Oh, okay.
I was like, yeah, Wakanda is a fictional place. I can't even call it a country because it's not real. It's a fictional place in the Marvel universe. It's Black Panther. It's not a real country. I was like, I am from Nigeria. I'm Nigerian, and this is Nigerian attire. It's not Wakanda. And he was like, oh, sorry. Just wanted to say you look great. I was like, okay, thank you. Like,
you could have just said you look great.
I was going to say, then why didn't you just say that?
I was like, I'm just moving forward. Please don't ever refer to me as Wakanda again. I am Nigerian. Okay. So that was the first interaction. I took it as, you know what? It's very obvious that, and he said he was from Florida, and I just know people from Florida have a reputation for being a little, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, he's a military dude from Florida. I educated him. He just better not call me Wakanda again. Okay, I'll give him, okay. All right, so. And then the next interaction I had with him, he said, oh, something along the lines of like, oh, you look good. You look like a piece of chocolate, something. I want to take a bite. And I was like, okay, so I'm Wakanda, now I'm chocolate. Okay. Right. So then at the round table, now, if you remember that scene at the round table, he goes around to everybody and gives every single person a personalized piece of why he respects them for their character, right? Brian, you're a farmer with a heart of gold. To Mom, you're like a single mom, superwoman, something. Everybody has a thing. Then, no, other than Julie, because he didn't talk about Julie. But then he takes me and Winnie, who are very different individuals. Me and Winnie are very different. He takes me and Winnie, he lumps us together, and he goes, my two African queen sisters here. And we were like, okay, this is not the first, second, third, fourth time that this man is referring to us as our race. And it's very obvious in this moment, especially, that you don't even see us as individuals. You just see me as one of the two Black girls, African girls in the household. You see Winnie as one of the 2 Black African girls in the household. And everybody wants to be like, oh, why do you wear cultural attire? Why do you wear African earrings if you don't want him to address you as African? I can be proud of my culture, be proud of where I come from, without being minimized and tokenized to only that. Yes, being African, being Nigerian is a big part of my identity, but it's not the entirety of who I am. I need that to click. I need people to understand that, because I feel like that's not coming across. Like, you won't see you know what? I'm not even going to give an example, because my example has strength in and of itself. Just because I wear the clothes that I wear, and I wear my earrings, I wear my culture very proudly. Again, it does not give anybody the right to just make that the sole thing that they see me as. And it was very obvious that with Jake, that was all that he could see. And my whole thing is, people want to be mad at me. Y'all see that he lumps me and Winnie together. Me and Winnie, I am very, very, very Afrocentric. You know what I mean? Like, yes, from the clothes that I wear to my earrings. Winnie is a lot more chill with it. Yeah. She's more westernized. So you got two different flavors of Black girl, of African girl, but still he's lumping us together as one. How are y'all not seeing that? It's not.
Did he ever try to get to know y'all on a different level, Tolu? On any kind of deeper level?
Not until after I had the conversation with him. And before I had the conversation, that's why we were ready, locked and loaded to vote him out. He was going to be gone. Because I was like, I'm not going to sit here and just constantly be called the Black girl in different flavors of English.
Yeah,
like,
no.
That's what I meant when I said it's making me not to enjoy my experience here, because I get that in the outside world. I don't need to come into this microcosm and again not be seen as like, okay, you are Tolu the person. It's like, oh, you are the Black girl. Like, I work in corporate America. I get that enough, you know? So
I'm sure
that's what I meant. And so after, like, so that's why, like, before we had that conversation, we was locked and loaded. He was the one that we were all going to vote out. He done pissed off all the women in the house anyway. Me and Winnie with the microaggressions, Mama J with the misogyny, Lindsay something about don't talk about her family or don't ask her about her family. I still don't get that. But like, she done pissed off all the women, so we was locked and loaded. And so after that conversation, like, I was like, okay, I want to kind of open myself up, because I know the Tolu that I am. Like, in the outside world, I would have looked at this individual and be like, told you about yourself, and then walked off, and I would never have to see you again. You would never have to see me again, period. But I was like, I want to open myself to being like, you know, a different Tolu, or like, I want to open myself to doing different things. So let me hear him out. Let me tell him like how I feel. Let me see if he's receptive. And if there is another misstep, then cool, I tried. Yeah. I'll put my hand up and say that I tried. So that's why we had that, because honestly, it wasn't a conversation that I wanted to have, but like, it was prompted. So I was like, okay, let's have this conversation. And so after that, I was like, all right, I want to believe that like individuals are capable of change, like especially if like he probably lives in like this really small world where he doesn't have as many access to Black people that are going to be in his face and tell him like it is. Like, so after telling him everything and he seemed receptive, I was like, okay, he seems capable of change. Like, let me give him that opportunity. Moral of the story, that is why I forgave Jake, because I was like, he seemed receptive. I want to believe people are capable of change. Let me give him the opportunity to prove that he's like better. And I feel like change starts from like, it starts from your own personal bubble. And I felt like that was like I don't know, I felt like it was necessary. Like, just, I don't know, being able to have these kinds of conversations.
But which I think is so big of you, because it's not even on you to have to educate him and have those conversations. So the fact that you took the time and you said, you know what, let's see if we can really give him the benefit of the doubt. That shows that you are an incredible person, because I don't think a lot of people would have done the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So remember that. with the because I know people are annoying. Block it out because I'm curious. Block it out because not a lot of people would have done that same thing. It's hard, and it wasn't on you to have that, but you rock. Obviously, you already know that, but I'm just saying.
That's the truth. Tolu, I want to ask you a question that's been on everybody's mind, and by everybody, I mean me. You left the show with a good coin. You shared with the others, and then you got a little extra when you went down into the VAULT, girl.
You know, as you did.
At what point did Tolu tell the others that she took that coin, and what were the reactions when you revealed?
I actually told everybody that following morning, like less than 20. It was like 12 hours later. I told everyone. I went into everybody's room one by one, and I said, "Y'all, I am the one that took the money." And so first I told Julie. She was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I took money, so yay, we got money." Yeah. She was like, "You got more than me, bro." I guess we got money. I was like, "Okay, yeah. Okay." And then I went to Gasper. He was like, "Oh, I understand. It's cool." I was like, "Okay, Gasper."
Yeah.
And then Jake, we don't care about Jake. He was not happy, but I don't give a fuck how he feels. And then, but Brian, I feel like Brian was really not happy. Like he was so disappointed. He had a lot of choice words. And
he cussed you out, girl.
No.
He had a lot of choice words. I said he bet not.
I said, man apologizing for cursing in the beginning.
His version of cursing me out was like, "Oh, well, I guess," he was like, "I'm so disappointed. If you want to be infamous, then go on ahead. You're going to be infamous. People are going to watch this." I was like, "What are you talking about? Like, y'all wanted to eliminate me 48 hours ago. I wasn't sure. Like, yes, I'm trying to be a good person, whatever y'all deem morality in this microsphere, a good person and share at the at the cliff, but I'm not going to allow myself to just really be a fucking sitting duck and just hope and pray that you guys have mercy. Like, no, I'm going to take a safety net for myself." And so he didn't understand it in that moment. But then later on, like a few months later, before a month before the show came out, he did reach out to me and he was like, "Hey, Tolu, like, I just wanted to let you know that, I'm really sorry for how I spoke to you. Like, I get where you're coming from. Like, and yeah, if I were in your shoes, I would have taken the money too." And I was like, "Thank you." Like,
he was honest with himself, which is great. We love a reflection.
Yes. I was gonna say, now that's reflection.
That's someone capable of change and is introspective, unlike others.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Also, more TV, Tolu?
Yes.
Oh, my bad, Maddison. You go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask, when are we gonna see you on our screens again? So, Courtney, we were already
episode
here.
1, I said, okay, Tolu for something else.
We were ready.
Y'all are ready. I am just like keeping my fingers crossed, hoping and praying for like more opportunities. So I'm not closed off, powers that be, if you're watching this. I know a really cool, funny, sweet, beautiful, bald-headed bad bitch that gets to people talking. So I'm just leave that here.
Tolu, I want to say you made excellent TV. You definitely had the people talking. I want to give you an opportunity to specifically address Twitter. Is there anything that you would like to say to those people that are, when you click the Trust Netflix or the hashtag the Trust, and they have all their criticisms of you, what do you want to leave them with? What do you want to tell those people?
You know why I'm mad? I'm like, if I knew that I was going to get such vitriol and I was going to get the comments that I have now, I would have made the finale like even more memorable. I would have done what I wanted to do. I would have leaned into my villain era if I knew that this was what was coming and just really did what I wanted to do. But I was trying to be nice and be a good person, and it is met with this.
Like, that's how I feel, because I was nasty all the way to the end. So the audience was like,
kill him. Should have been on that wave. Because I'm not even gonna lie, at the end, I literally had someone's name in the thingy, and then I changed it last minute and was like, let me put share. I was like, ooh, I should have kept
Are you comfortable sharing the name?
Oh yeah, it was gonna be Jake. I think
If you would have did that, I know them producers would have been like, yes, the ending we needed.
When I tell you, they were like, you should put a name.
Y'all secured a season 2 just based off of you and Winnie's and Mama J, just the strategy of it all, because much like The Circle, it was a lot of the family and we're friends. And girl, this is competition. Girl, don't let the costumes fool you.
Right?
Like you're out there in Dominican Republic. Don't let the water and the little beautiful pool fool you, girl. It's time to get this money.
Like, we have something to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's why I think I watch reality TV incorrectly, because Tolu, I did not see you as a villain. I saw you as someone who's just playing the game.
Same.
And Courtney, I felt the same way. But I'm like, I think I'm watching shows wrong, because I'm just like, if you have the chance to win money, don't tell me you're not going to do everything to win the money.
I agree.
Literally. When's the last time any of y'all have made $73,600 in 3 weeks? Okay, when y'all do that, then you can come and talk to me. But if you're not on that type of time, put your opinion where it belongs, in the trash. Because I did what I needed to do.
Exactly.
You really did, Tolu. We're glad that you did what you needed to do. Netflix, we need several seasons of The Trust. We need Tolu to come back midway through a season 3 just to shake it up. Just when you think we forgot about Tolu and she's in 4 other shows, she's popping back up and sending y'all asses home. We need it. We need it. We need it. We need it.
Yes.
Tolu, thank you for coming to Toast to Tea. We love you dearly. We can't wait to see you back on TV again very, very soon. Hopefully Netflix do your thing. And when you do another show, come on back, because we want to hear about that.
Yes,
I love it.
Sure.
Yes,
ma'am.
I love
it here. Thank you guys for having me. This was so much fun.
Of course. Thanks for coming. And be safe.